Welcome to the lben Teahouse. In recent years, the internet has often seen the emergence of new terms. For instance, bickering is not called bickering, it's called snark. Behaving like a hooligan isn't called that, it's flirting with girls. In addition to these terms, many previously unheard of diseases have now got names, such as thalassophobia, chlamydophobia, catoptrophobia, and so on. All kinds of strange and bizarre fears exist. Some are real, while others seem far-fetched. I've heard of xanthophobia, not an aversion to adult films, but a response to the color yellow that some people purportedly can't endure. That seems a bit dubious to me, as I've never heard of such a thing. However, the story we're discussing today does indeed trouble many people, and it's related to what's known as a hotel phobia. When traveling or on business trips, it's inevitable that one has to stay in hotels from time to time. But friends, when selecting a hotel, do take great care. Are you sure the hotel is clean? When did the incident we're talking about tonight occur? It wasn't many years ago. This happened in 2013. On the morning of February 19, 2013, a plumber named Master Ma received a phone call. Master Ma was a part-time plumber and electrician at a hotel in Los Angeles called the Cecil Hotel. He didn't need to be there every day, a call was all that was required when there was work to be done. These past few days, the manager had been nagging him about complaints from guests about low water pressure, the flow was insufficient, and he was urged to come and fix it. But after inspecting for several days, no problems were found. The pump wasn't broken, and the pipes had no issues, but the water flow just wasn't improving. The previous evening some guests had even made a scene in the lobby, complaining that not only was the water flow inadequate, but also when they turned on the tap, the water was black at first, returning to normal only after a while. During this process, a bit of hair had come out with the water. Present were the manager and the cleaning lady, referred to as House Annie abroad, for those who don't understand English, as well as 2 security guards and 3 waiters. Upon hearing the guest's complaint, everybody maintained a professional demeanor, but internally, everyone was startled. After calming down the guest and sending him back to his room, they exchanged glances. Could it be? Don't be absurd, I just washed my hair. Should we call the police? Without evidence, what would we report, and if the police came and found nothing? So, what to do? How about we ask old Ma to come by tomorrow? He fixes the plumbing, right? That's his job. Let him check the water tank on the rooftop. Will he dare to go? He's just a part-timer, he doesn't know about that incident. What incident were they muttering about? We have to go back a bit for that. One day, the Los Angeles Police Department received a report. The caller claimed their daughter had traveled to Los Angeles. During their last call, the daughter mentioned she was staying at the Cecil Hotel but had been uncontactably lost for several days. The police came and checked the guest records and indeed found that the 21-year-old Canadian-Chinese girl Elisa Lam had checked in but not checked out. When asked what happened, the receptionist said they were unsure. She had booked a room for 2 nights and should have checked out on January 31st. They knocked for quite a while, and when there was no response and checkout time had passed with no one opening the door, they unlocked it and found no one inside, though her luggage was all there. The manager even said that perhaps she had gone out and returned late, and suggested waiting a bit longer, but she never came back to check out. Our cleaning lady then tidied up the room, because, after all, we're running a business and when other guests want to book a room, we need to make it available, right? All her belongings in the room were organized by us, and not a single item was missing. What's the matter? The police officer said you described it in quite some detail. Nonsense, it's needed for the plot. What's going on? We don't know either. She lost contact with her family, and the last place she was known to be was your hotel. Alright then, let's check the surveillance footage, and quickly, the security and manager all came over and pulled up the video from January 31st, 2013. It was quite a shock for everyone who saw the footage. In a rather long elevator surveillance video, about 4 minutes in length, Elisa Lam was seen entering the elevator. She first lit up all the floor buttons, and then, as if playing hide and seek, she hid in a corner of the elevator where she couldn't be seen from outside. To be honest, because this footage is all over the internet, I mean no disrespect to the deceased, but her expression looked playful, as if she was messing around with someone. After hiding for about 10 seconds, Lam peeked out of the elevator, then carefully stepped out. She stood outside for about 30 seconds and then went back into the elevator, pressing all the floor buttons again. At this point, Lam's demeanor was clearly different from the beginning. She seemed panicked. What could have suddenly caused her fear? What happened off camera that the surveillance couldn't capture? Then Lam stepped out of the elevator again, stood in the doorway, waving her arms and legs as if she were talking to someone. Afterward, she made several inexplicable, strange gestures with her hands. About 15 seconds later, the Chinese-Canadian woman Elisa Lam left the range of the elevator surveillance camera. Oddly, throughout the entire process, the elevator doors never closed. Anyone kind-hearted, you should try searching the internet yourself. Watch carefully. Right after Lam enters the elevator and presses the close door button, the doors start to close but then retract. The situation seemed rather odd. But as strange as it was, that was all the clue we had. After the police took the video footage, there was no further follow-up. As for where she went? It's a mystery, no sign of her alive, no discovery of her dead. Initially, nobody took it seriously. Just think about it, with so many guests coming and going every day in this big hotel, everyone almost forgot about this incident. These past few days, we didn't think that the plumbing issues were related to the disappearance case. But when the guests spoke of a strand of hair coming from the faucet, it wasn't just internal turmoil, it caused upheaval in our stomachs as well. Why? Americans, when thirsty, drink directly from the tap. After finding a strand of hair and considering the girl who had gone missing before, nobody dared to think further. So, this morning, Old Ma got the call. It was from the hotel manager. What for? The water flow is inadequate, keep working on it. Me? I suspect there might be something blocking the water tank. Could it be clogged? You're the plumber, you need to fix it. We can't go on like this, come take a look for me. After some persuasion, Old Ma was called to the hotel to see if the water tank was blocked by something. In no time, through word of mouth, the entire hotel staff was aware of the situation. The receptionist on the first floor, the front desk, the service staff on all floors, and even the car park attendant outside knew about it. But we all kept it to ourselves, just giving each other knowing looks. Heard about it? It seems like it's the water tank. Oh, maybe we should go check it out later. We definitely have to take a look, it's part of the job. Soon, Old Ma arrived. He wore a red shirt and blue waterproof pants. Have you seen those used for fishing? That's what he had on, those rubber waterproof pants, also known as water shafts. He sported a red hat on his head and a couple of tufts of a mustache, humming a tune as well. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. What kind of Super Mario is this? A plumber? Old Ma, Mario, with his big, mustache grinning face. What's up, do I make you speak? Today's the last time. I can't make a cent off of you guys, been doing this for days, fixing here, checking there, and can't find a single fault. The manager quickly bended backwards to appease him. Master Ma, how can you say such things? Not just in Los Angeles, but in all of America, who can match your Super Ma plumbing skills? When Master Ma gets to work, the earth quakes. When he speaks, the universe explodes. Yeah, I'll take a look, isn't that a small matter? Some people just eat this up. I'll fix it, but not right now. During the day, guests need water, and if I'm up there working, it's going to affect their usage. So, what are we going to do then? At 2:30 a.m., most people are asleep. We notified everyone in advance that we'd be fixing the water during the night. If you want to take a shower or whatever, get it done early. The preparation for plumbing isn't much to hear about, so let's keep it brief. At 2:30 in the morning, a large group of the hotel's middle management, waiters, service staff, and security, just a messy crowd, surrounded the plumber Mario and headed to the hotel's rooftop. Why were there so many people? Isn't that just how it is? The more people there are, the braver we feel. If you were asked to clear out a water pipe on the roof in the middle of the night by yourself, you'd be scared to death. They're just there to watch. If they don't go, they don't get to see the fun. Quite a few had swapped shifts specially for this. You're off tomorrow, right? Let's swap. I want to see that Super Ma go down the water pipes. Anyway, it was a grand procession. Everyone went up. Young friends might not know that high buildings need to have water tanks because the water pressure alone isn't enough. When we say water tank, it's actually a water cistern, round, kind of like those grain silos that store rice. The Cecil Hotel had 4 of these water tanks. On arrival at the top, Master Ma drained each tank one by one. If the water tank isn't blocked, the water flows in and out automatically, so draining would reveal any issues. The first tank was fine, so was the second. All 3 tanks he drained were without issue. But the 4th water tank, shortly after being drained, showed a problem. Underneath the water, there came a gurgling noise, like bubbles, and then it stopped draining. Old Ma was puzzled. A sealed water tank is actually blocked? What could possibly block it? A part fallen off? No, this old tank is just a container with a lid, there are no parts. The people nearby quickly urged Master Ma to go down and take a look. Old Ma was hesitant. I mean, during the day. In the middle of the night, I'd be scared to go down there by myself. Hey, what's wrong? We're all here with you, aren't we? During the day, the guests need water. How would that work? It needs to be sorted out before dawn, to finish the job. Well, Old Ma, I have this special gift a friend brought over, Japanese mushrooms. Look at these, the red ones make you grow taller after eating them, green ones are said to extend your life, I'm gifting these to you. Alright, go down and take a look. The female waiter also came over, handing him a flower. Master Ma, everyone loves your craftsmanship. This flower is for you, please go down and check. Old Ma saw the waiter giving him a flower and the man giving him mushrooms. He felt thrilled, giving a thumbs up like he's shooting a bullet. Hey hey hey, Super Mario indeed. So, there he was, already dressed in his water chaps. With everyone encouraging him, how bad could it be to have a look down there? Plus, he was the only one there who didn't know about previous incidents, so he went into the water. Everyone watching held their breath, just observing Old Ma as he bent over and felt around near the water outlet. The manager above asked, Old Ma, do you feel anything? It's strange, a ghost couldn't even get in here, I just don't understand what could have clogged this up. As he said this, he exerted more force. Everyone present was dumbfounded. Old Ma had lifted a human head in his hand. The people above were in shock. Some covered their mouths, some screamed, some leaned forward to look, some stepped back, it was chaos. But Old Ma was fine. The people above were shining flashlights down, and he was pulling things out with gloved hands. They could see clearly from above, but he couldn't see well in the water. He was quite happy, hearing the shouting from above. There, pulled it out, I'll bring it up for you to have a look. Old Ma, just let go, climb up on your own. Right, okay then, he said, and tossed the thing back into the water and climbed up by himself. By this time, the people above were terrified, waiting for Old Ma to climb up. The manager said he really didn't know about this today. The police have been called, don't be too scared. What's been reported to the police? Old Ma, that thing you just, maybe you should take another look. Using the beam of the flashlight, Old Ma looked down again, and in the water tank was the body of a woman. The police arrived shortly after and sealed the scene. DNA evidence confirmed that the deceased was indeed Elisa Lam, the Canadian-Chinese woman who had been missing for several days. Perplexingly, when the body was discovered, it was completely naked. The police later found her neatly folded belongings in an inconspicuous spot on the rooftop. So, what bizarre experiences happened to her that day to cause the strange and abnormal behavior recorded in the elevator surveillance video? And how did Elisa Lam, who should not have been able to access the rooftop, end up in the water tank? Once the case was disclosed, a multitude of articles with various analyses emerged, and American society accused the Los Angeles police of inaction. Let's not dwell on the unresolved case of Elisa Lam for now. At the same location, in the same hotel, in 1947, Hollywood actress Elizabeth Short was horrifically murdered and dismembered, a case that remains unsolved to this day and has become a notorious crime in American history. There has been endless speculation about the case, with various detectives giving seemingly plausible theories, but until the police speak out, we ordinary citizens, despite our reasonable suspicions, can't help but feel powerless to vindicate the deceased. There are even some online speculations that Elisa Lam suffered from a mental illness and that her death was a suicide. On the other hand, some from the metaphysical community, based on the surveillance footage, have come to an even more astonishing conclusion. The Elisa Lam seen in the video was already a reanimated corpse, her soul trapped inside the rooftop water tank. They interpret her hand gestures, when she twice exited the elevator, as akin to treading water. Which might explain why her body was later found in the tank. The real question remains, who robbed a girl, in the prime of her life, of her existence? The Los Angeles Police Department eventually provided an answer. Elisa Lam's death was concluded to be an accidental drowning. I cannot comprehend how a 21-year-old girl managed to bypass every obstacle and run to such a desolate place, hide her clothes, and then accidentally drown. The mysterious surveillance footage, the enigmatic death scene, all these were buried forever in the ignominious history of the Cecil Hotel, with the LAPD's verdict of accidental drowning, turning it into another classified tale of human society. Perhaps, dear friends, after listening to today's story, including myself, you did not get that feeling of satisfaction that comes with the unfolding truth. However, I believe that justice has a way of surfacing. Let us hope together that the truth behind all cold cases will one day be revealed to the world. The culprits cannot escape judgment, and justice will never be absent. As the saying goes, there are deities 3 feet above our heads. It behooves us not to commit nefarious deeds. Good and evil will ultimately be requited. The only question is whether it happens sooner or later. Thank you for visiting lben's Teahouse. This is lben, and I'll see you next time.